Hey everybody, what's up? Over the past couple months, there's been a few comments made by a few YouTubers, some of the bigger ones, saying things like, there's no real content here on YouTube, or that the community's dying. Now, I think partially these people were saying these things to get a reaction. I really do. But of course, when they say things like that, everybody gets all up in arms about it. Why do we care so much what they say? Now, these two YouTubers, both of them have worked very hard to get to where they are. They're both very creative, they both have their own style, and obviously they're popular for a reason. But just because somebody has 20, 30, 100,000 subscribers, does that mean their word is any more important than the rest of us? Think about it. There's a lot of people, if you look at like the most subscribed list, that I've never ever heard of. I tend not to watch the bigger guys just because of the level of interaction with them. So now if suddenly I turn on so-and-so's video or subscribe to so-and-so's videos and they make some comment about content or community on YouTube, suddenly this person's in my life and suddenly it matters, where a day ago they weren't around. And I guess it kind of makes you think about this person's role on YouTube. Because they have greater numbers, does that make them worth more than you or I? Yes, it might make them worth more in a partner's program to, certain, for commercial reasons, whatever. But regardless of how much money they bring in, they're no more valuable than you or I. And again, this isn't to take anything away from those guys who have worked very hard to get to where they are. But try not to take these things away from yourself either. YouTube is what you put into it. And don't let somebody else's opinion on YouTube, on the content you put in your videos, dictate your worth. Keep in mind that numbers are a very arbitrary thing here on YouTube. I know some of my best videos in my mind have my lowest amount of views. Some of my easiest videos, where I'll put something up like a quick 5-question or 5-subject questionnaire, will get 4 times the views as a normal video because people like watching and it's entertaining. In my mind, it's not worth nearly as much as some of my longer, deeper vlogs. That's just the way it is. Think about some of the top-rated TV shows. I talked about Guilty Pleasures in my last video. That show, I Love New York and Flavor of Love, those are some of the top-rated TV shows on cable. They're worthless. They really are, other than from a cheap, junk food level approach. So what is the worth? Entertainment-wise, yes, but what's its value? Is value and worth, those two different things. And keep in mind, when people get hung up on numbers here, I had somebody, I won't even share the person's name, but a month or so ago, they sent me an email asking them to pray for them because they had a lot of horrible things going on in their life. But they wanted me to pray to them, for them, because I have so many subscribers. As if suddenly I'm a YouTube messiah because I hit a number, 500, 550, whatever I have now, 558 to be exact. Just because I have a certain level, I'm just Joe Schmo. I walk through the mall like anybody else. The people at work don't know I do this. My family doesn't know I do this. This doesn't change my life at all, except it's a hobby. And I've somehow or another been moderately successful with it. But there was a day, a year ago, I had 1 subscriber. And they subscribed to me because of my favorites, because of a bunch of YouTube favorites. It took me 2-3 months to get 100 subscribers. Again, because of a video that got a lot of responses. And out of all those subscribers I got, 3/4 of them I haven't heard from since. I'm sure 3/4 of them haven't watched the video. So they click that orange button and suddenly, pow, I'm worth something. As if a year ago with 0 subscribers or 1 subscriber, I was a nobody. Nothing has changed. We're all on YouTube. We all put in different efforts to this. We're all in here different starting days. Some people who just started now with 5, 10, 100 subscribers, they want more. They see people with 5, 6, 7, 1,000 subscribers and seem to think that they tend to forget what it took to work up to that. So I guess I just want to respond to all the people. This isn't to anybody specifically, but just in general. Let's keep focus of what's important here on YouTube. For a lot of us, it's sharing our daily lives. For some people, it's becoming part of a community. For some people, it's about being creative and artistic and funny and random. That's what it's about. Numbers really don't matter. I mean, I'd be lying if I said that when somebody, when I get a new subscriber, that it wasn't an ego stroke. I'm not above that. It is a nice pat on the back. But if you have 10 subscribers, or if you for some reason have only 50 views on a video and you see somebody else's video with 1,000, don't give up. Maybe look at how you're doing things. YouTube is a huge river that you have to rise to the top of. There's certain ways to do that. There's certain tricks to do it. There's certain ways to slowly build momentum. But don't look at numbers as being the end-all, be-all. Think of numbers here once. Think of like some of your favorite music. I keep bringing this back to pop culture. Britney Spears, huge artist, right? First of all, I know a lot of people who can only name one song of hers, if that. And look at her. Look at the train wreck she is. What's her worth to anybody? She's a joke now. 5 years ago, she was gold. So what's her worth? And why would what she says matter to any of us in our daily lives? And look at your experience on YouTube the same way. For all the Renettos and Naltzes and Bohems and Blunties and all the big guys out there who make comments about us, about this smaller community, take it with a grain of salt. They've done something to get to where they have to be, so maybe their experience is worth something, but yet their opinions are just their opinions, and it's not worth any more or any less because they're popular. It's just a popularity contest. It really is. And these numbers are random. They're arbitrary. Things sometimes just happen. You happen to get featured. Suddenly you get a bunch of new subscribers that you never see again. So, your words should be about the friends you make, the experiences you take, and what you put into it. If you just want to keep this as a daily journal and you're doing it, more power to you. If this is just a timestamp of your life, more power to you. If this is the digital representation of new friends and communities and relationships you're making, so be it. Let the numbers be secondary, and I think it is. I think for the most part, for most of us it is, but I know personally I get frustrated when I hear comments like that, like there's no content on YouTube or the community's dying. We all know that's not true, but let's take these things with a grain of salt from the people who say them, and just because they're popular, just remember they started out with 0 subscribers too. They worked hard. They also had breaks, and depending on the amount of time and effort we can all put into YouTube, everybody has different circumstances. Not everybody can devote 100% of their lives to YouTube. Not everybody can devote 5% of their life. Some people just time and money and resources and computers and hardware and software and all that stuff is so limited. So thanks for listening. I just wanted to get this off my chest. It's kind of been building, and I'm not trying to do this to put down the big guys at all, but just keep their place, keep them in mind. Somebody has 10,000 subscribers, that's a small town. It's a small radio station at best. So popularity is in the eyes of the beholder, and I don't care if you're the most popular person on earth, it's still just an opinion. That's all for now. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys later. Bye.